Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Finding Your Financial Voice podcast with me, your host, Anita R. Johnson. And the mission of this podcast is always to give you sound financial tips that you can implement immediately, allowing you to leave a legacy for your family. Today is a great show. I'm excited. It is season 2, episode 2, and we've been having such a great time with this podcast. And I'm excited. We love your feedback. Remember to always give feedback, comments. You can do that at info, at moneywisdomforwomen.com. Let me give you that address again. It is info, moneywisdomforwomen, all one word, .com. So thank you. And we have a great topic. I want to start off today talking about the small steps that lead to big steps in your financial rescue, whatever you want to call it for yourself. But we're going to be talking about small steps. And I want you to take a minute and maybe might be a good book. I'm going to refer sometimes to this particular book. And it's called The Small Changes That Change Everything. Title, Tiny Habits, The Small Changes That Change Everything. And this book is actually written by Fogg, F-O-G-G, and you can get it it's in London, UK, Virgin Books. So that's who the publisher of this book is. Tiny Habits, The Small Changes That Change Everything. And I want to back up for a minute because I've been telling people for the longest about the small steps that you take. In one of my modules in my online course, we talk about small baby steps and how to do the small baby steps. And I always start with tracking because we want to begin tracking and doing all those kinds of things to get us into new habits. But let me just back up and talk a little bit about what Fogg says in his book about some of the habits. Some of the book talks about breaking down components that you can formulate that that might be the reason why you want to make some small changes. Small changes make everything big, right? Tiny habits. So a component is, one of the components, or three of the components are motivation, ability, and prompt. So I want to talk a little bit about motivation. And one of the reasons why you may be listening to this podcast is because you're really trying to find your financial voice. You're really trying to find out what it is that you need to do to make your financial foundation or your financial journey less stressful. And we all know that money is a stressor, right? It's a stressor in our daily lives. It's a stressor for work. You know, how much money are we earning at work? It's a stressor how much we're in saving or investing, how much we want to buy in a house, how much we want to purchase on a car, all kinds of things. Clothes for the family, food, blah, 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 all that kind of thing. And right now we're actually really talking about how we're going to pay for that gas to put in the car that we drive, okay? So all that's important. So you're already motivated to do the things that you want to do. And then the ability is basically kind of doing it, and then the prompt. So I suggest that you get this book, Tiny Habits, The Small Changes That Change Everything by Fogg, F-O-G-G. And it was 2019 when this book came out. But I want to talk to you about some of the habits that I normally talk to my clients about and that I would talk to you about if you want to get on the road to financial security, a financial journey. And one of the things is, I talk about this a lot, is a financial spending plan. How do you get to a financial spending plan, which we used to call a budget? And let me tell you why we don't call it a budget, because budget is money on a diet. We now call it financial spending plan. So already your mindset is being improved by hearing budget being money on a diet, and now you're going to call this thing financial spending, a financial spending plan. And it's a little bit more. And you can go on some of my other podcasts, or you can go on my YouTube videos and see some of the other positive words that I normally give to people that will change and help them with their mindset. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this financial spending plan really quick. I'm not quite sure how many times you guys have heard me say this, but I want to say it again because it is the beginning. It is the beginning. You have to create a financial spending plan. It is creating that plan that will get you off the ground to having a successful financial journey, right? A successful financial journey. So let's talk about that. Financial spending plan. How do you create a financial spending plan? A lot of times with people, when they create a budget financial spending plan, they come up with a number of words, or they come up with a number of numbers that they think they're spending on it. So for instance, they may think they might be spending $400 on food, or they might be thinking they're spending $500 on entertainment, or their car, or their gas, or something like that. We have kind of an idea in our head, but it's not the true number a lot of times. So we create this budget or this financial spending plan by pulling numbers out of the hat and say, oh, I think I'm spending this. And sometimes we do go to our bank statements or our debit cards or whatever that might be, and kind of add the numbers up and kind of figure it out. Well, here's a better word, a better way to do it, called tracking. Okay, so you track what you spend. You track what you spend, meaning you sit down with your spending some time. Here's another habit: spending some time with your finances, spending a half a day or a couple of hours or whatever that might mean to you, whatever time bracket that you might have, right? You take that time and you spend it tracking. So for instance, on Mondays, I come in and I begin to gather up all my receipts, put it in an envelope, start tracking what I'm spending, and then I compare it to what I have as far as a number, but a number that I have created throughout my tracking of what it should be. But I'm going too far. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start tracking. So you start tracking and you create this category of list of things that, whether it be taxes or whether it be your retirement fund or whether it be your net income, gross income, all of those things. And one of the best things I have for you is called a book, Big Girls Don't Cry, Taking the Emotions Out of Finances. And it gives you a clear-cut example of how to begin to start tracking and to know exactly what you're spending. So if you want one of those books, you can always go to my Google page. You can always go to my website, moneywisdomforwomen.com, my name. You can Google me and you can get this book. And this book is found on Amazon. So you can buy it straight from Amazon. So anyway, it talks about these things. And so now you begin to track. And how do you track? You write down everything. You categorize things. And you're going to track for 3 months. You're going to track for 3 months. Once you track for 3 months, you take those 3 months, you average them out, whatever that number might be. You may want to add 5 to 10%. Say that number is $200, $300, $500. You add 5 or 10% more than that. 500, you add 10%, $50. You add more. And that category could be food. $550 per food. Now you have a more accurate number. We're going to add the $50 just in case something happens. People come over. It's beginning, it's one of those holidays. It's somebody's birthday. Maybe you may want to add more. And you can do this tracking on a sheet of paper. You can have your spreadsheet. One of the things that I have is I have a monthly spreadsheet. And so that monthly spreadsheet is called thank you notes. It's not called bills, but it's called thank you notes. Thank you for letting me have the lights on. Thank you for those things. Thank you. So that's another mindset kind of improvement. So here you are, you tracked, you got 3 months, you've added up. You've added 5 to 10% in. If you want 15%, you add more. You add it to your liking. If you want to do 2%, it's your thing. You do it to your liking, what it is about you and your family, right? It's not about me and my family. It's about you and your family. So you track this. Now you have created a financial spending plan. And now it's up to you to continue to track, have your monthly spreadsheet, and making sure you do your actual towards your tracking one. What's your actual amount towards your plan? And you could do that a number of ways. You can do that through envelope systems. You can do that through a spreadsheet. You can do that through those things. And those things really, really help you. So now we've created the ability to do these things. And you've been prompted. What is it? You prompt because now you have all your receipts hanging out someplace. You ask for your receipt when you go someplace. And now on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever day it is, you got on your calendar that I'm going to sit down with my finances these 2 hours a day, or an hour a day, or a half a day, or whatever, planning out. And this is a good foundation for you to start planning your future. If you want to plan to purchase a home, plan to purchase a car, go to college. Now you have your foundation. Retirement, you got your foundation to see how far you can go. So wow, that is just really great on the new habits. You're creating some new small baby steps to get to the big result. Some small baby steps to get to your financial goals. You created those things. I'm going to stop right here, and we're going to stop for a small commercial break, and then we'll be right back.
The Financial Speed Dating event is back, but it's back with a twist. Mark your calendars for June 17th, 2021, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is a hybrid event, meaning you can come out to 225 30th Street, Suite 30, or you can Zoom virtually. Check the description box for more details. You don't want to miss the Financial Speed Dating event, filled with a lot of information on how you can be financially successful. Go to www.moneywisdomforwomen.com for more information. Also find her on Facebook at Money Wisdom for Women.
Welcome back to the Finding Your Financial Voice podcast with me, your host, Anita R. Johnson. And today we're talking about tiny habits or small baby habits that you can do to make a great financial result in your financial journey, your financial health. Let's talk about it a little bit, more. I want to give a summary before we go out the air. And the summary, and one of the things I did talk about earlier, if you didn't hear, was that we talked about this book that I think that you guys should get. It's called Tiny Habits, The Small Changes, and That Change Everything. And it has to do with your finances. And one of the things is motivation. And so I said to you guys that some of you are motivated. You're listening to this podcast. You're trying to figure out your finances. What else can you do? So motivation is one of the components that you need in order to format a new habit. Ability, you got the ability. I gave you plenty examples. I gave you a couple examples on how to create a financial spending plan. I gave you a few examples on that, how to do that. First, you start tracking. That's the small step. You start tracking. You create a plan by starting with the tracking. Then once you get the tracking done, you track for 3 months. You're going to track after this, but this is to create the financial spending plan so that you can continue to track and you can compare what you are actually spending to your actual financial spending plan. So you'll have the ability to do that. And the prompt is that you are finding results, so you keep doing it. You keep spending some time. You make a date with yourself. You make a date with your finances. And the other thing is that you can find all of this in my book called Big Girls Don't Cry, taking the emotions out of finances. And so you can get that, and you get that book on Amazon, or you can order it directly from me on my website, which is moneywisdomforwomen.com, or just go Google me. I'll be happy to make sure that you get that book. So that is basically our show for today. And finding your financial voice, mission is to always give you sound financial tips that you can implement, allowing yourself to leave a legacy for your children, for your family. Always make sure that you go to the public group, which is Money Wisdom for Women. See on our Facebook group, go there and join. Go to my Facebook page, Anita R. Johnson, Financial Behaviorist, and like it, love it. Until the next time, make sure you take care of yourself, take care of others, and thank you for allowing us to be in your home right now. And remember, financial mindset plus financial knowledge plus financial power equals your financial voice. Let me say that one more time. Financial mindset plus financial knowledge plus financial power equals your financial voice. So thank you, and I'm glad that you were here and listening, and have a pleasant day.